CHICANO, how's it going? Culture is power, history is knowledge. So, let's talk about Rosalino Munoz. Now, there's not a lot of information about him, but what I can got and get, I will put out there. So, simple, born in LA. He was a part of a Methodist family. His father was actually the minister for the Methodist church in his area, and his father was actually the first Chicano to earn his U.S. degree. Or in the United States, as a Chicano, he got a degree as being a doctor, and he was the first, Mexican American to have accomplished that within his time. As a teenager, Munoz traveled to Mexico and become aware and awoken of how it is a privilege of being a Chicano. So while he was out there and came back, he joined he joined the politics in his school, student counseling, student government. And by his senior year, he became class school president. He is mostly was a photographer. He was a man of multiple, educational rights, better living rights, better pay rights, Chicanos, for fair treatment of Chicanos. And so he was mostly known for, in 1970, August 29th, the Chicano Moratorium walk against Vietnam. 30,000 Chicanos showed up. He was known for organizing, till this day, the biggest organizing Chicano movement that probably happened at a gathering. While this was happening, his good friend Ruben Salazar, who was a photographer and who was a journalist, was killed by the police. Tear gas was thrown into the bar or the building where they were at, while the police were raiding buildings looking for Chicanos while they were having this protest. Ruben Salazar is actually a known man, a popular journalist within the Chicano cultures and studies of what was one of the reasons for this to continue. And Munoz and him happened to be good friends because he was also a photographer, Munoz. And Munoz was known to be a part of the Communist Party of the USA, writing for their newspaper called the People's Worlds. He just stood up against police brutality and better educational rights. There's not a lot of information about him other than, there was a guy, what I read about, named Frank Martinez, who was an informant and for the ATF and an agent provocateur. While he got arrested for illegal, weapons, just doing illegal activities, he was put into that situation. And what he said, just like if you know history, they did this with the Black Panthers. They were doing this with all the other Chicano movements, Cesar Chavez, along with, Corky Gonzalez, and, all these guys that I've been reading about. And if these agent provocateurs didn't cooperate, then the ATF would just lock them up for their crimes that they committed or kill them, is what this guy was talking about, Frank Martinez, when I was reading his story. And so he had to spread lies against Munoz and leaders and activists. And, when they're out there trying to protest, these were the guys who would kick off the trouble so the police could interfere. But other than that, he started multiple organizations, ones like Latinos for Peace. And in 2008, Munoz was known to gather the Chicano votes to help Obama become president. But he is still alive and well today. Other than that, Chicanos, go look him up. Not a lot of information about him other than him being someone who was an historian, activist, and an honorable Chicano that should be recognized. And more information, as I look, could be put out there. Culture is power, history is knowledge.